in for the first match properly this time. We were having some unfortunate server connection issues, not going to Singapore, which is with the rules where we need to be, but the Amazing Stuff team managed to find a fix for it. So we are on the correct servers now. Everything should be smooth and hunky-dory, and we should be loving life and be able to finally see our first set of the matchup between Semipro and Celestial. This is going to be a good one, I think. With the start we saw prior, it was already looking pretty good for Semipro, but obviously, as Peaches had mentioned previously, they are facing an unfortunate penalty, so we'll have to see if that potentially comes into play, but Prada did have a very, very strong start with a nice quick down with the pallet exploding along the main balcony shack side, so hopefully we'll be able to see that again. And it looks like we're having a bit of a repeat to that first set with the first chase, since we do spot our Adam Zalapi up on main, so could have that deja vu repeat start to the prior sets as well, and it looks like Zalapi is trying to take the first chase as well, while Prada just does the usual setup, breaking up the main doors to get rid of them, since it just makes main just a bit more playable, especially for a killer like Freddy, with the Dream Snare to slow them down, or the fake pals to be able to use as well. And it looks like, I think that was Zalapi again, really trying to push for Prada's attention, but Prada's not keen on that. They are more keen on just checking around their gens at the start and try and find a different chase and start, which it looks like Cal, it will be our first official chase of the trial, trying to go for a quick little cheeky Dream Snare pop, but also a pallet pop, but it does not quite connect.
Ooh.
And we get a nice pallet stun on the front main, but Peaches, we're finally back, and it looks like we are in for the match now. So what are your thoughts, and what do you think we'll be seeing from this first set, now that we are finally actually able to see, at this stage, the full set at least?
So far, I'm excited to see these chases, because Cahill actually got that, Cahill actually got that smash hit value that allowed them to get them to that one pallet. And although we did get the injury onto them, that is a long distance running into the staircase. A little bit of getting a little messed up with staircases. I get it. Climbing stairs can be a little bit difficult, but with that, it does allow Cahill to make it over to the water tower.
Oh.
Not the long nails of Nightmare is able to just get Cahill through that pallet at the water tower, and we will get the pain res just in time before Alex could try to pop their first generator. And we're already on top of that same generator. They were able to stop the regression, but we got the eruption applied to it. But yeah, as we were getting back into it, waiting for the action to continue flowing, I just want to point out the gen spread and the perks. Pretty standard stuff, Soppy Painter's Eruption, but look at that Gallows 3-gen. That's what I like to see, Ghosty. That's what I like to see.
Oh yeah, no, that Outback Gallows 3-gen is a monster of a 3-gen to have if you manage to get in, because there are a few times when you can see it not spawn in, and it's a bit of a problematic time for people, even though that would mean that you would see the top side 3-gen, but I think we managed to get a little bit of collateral with this next. I think we may have actually heard the scream on the generator, but
you did.
Well, in saying that, obviously, we are going straight for that tunnel onto Cal, and this is how you expect to see a Freddy set be played. Try and make the 3v1 as soon as possible, and we are still at 5 gens, so if we're not able, well, sorry, Caster's Curse, 4 gens, but if we can't have a quick, good chase here, this would be a bit problematic having a Death Hook at 4, able to hit the Dream Snare, even though it wasn't even on the ground fully, and it looks like we had our ace, Alex here, looking around to maybe help out Cal with their chase, but they're doing a good job at the moment and have lasted long enough for that second gen to pop, and I believe, yes, that was the gen down at 7, so we have lost that Outback 3-gen from what I can see at this point, so this is a good start for our Celestial Survivors, and yes, Alex G coming to be the hero that we all want and hope to see for some hit takes for Cal to really extend their chase along to this main building, and main is the place you want to be, a very, very strong loop to be able to play, even against the killer like Freddy that does have the Dream Snare to slow things down. Looks like we're going to attempt for the cutoff with the TP to the gen, but faking it out, making the double back from Cal, and this will be securing the down for the second stage of the trial. This is the start you want to see, Peaches. A Death Hook at 3, even with Alex G support, which is also what you love to see. Some good old Survivor teamwork gameplay to really extend these chases, and that did buy a lot of time for our Survivors. But having a Death Hook at 3, if Cal cannot have another good chase like we just saw, this could still be a bit problematic for the Celestial Survivors, but I think we're already cooking a fair bit, because this gen down on the 3 side still has a lot of progress as well, so it's unfortunate we were able to interrupt it, and we will be applying our Eruption to it with a hook nearby as well. I don't know, this is actually looking like it could go both ways still, but still a very good start for Prada.
Absolutely, and also that Sloppy Butcher is definitely going to come into play. It is great that the Survivors of Celestial are coming in to get those take those buy blocks to protect their Death Hook teammate, but of course that Sloppy Butcher will make those resets and heals just that much more slower, a little bit more difficult to do, and those can definitely rack up, especially when, like you're pointing out, as soon as you get to that 3v1, if there happen to be a lot of injuries on the board, that can definitely snowball into quite the result for Prada here. But yeah, look at this. You see Slap. I believe the plan that we got going on. One survivor poking at the gen, one survivor going for the unhook, and that's exactly what we see. Zappy was poking away at it, and then we see our Ray able to get the unhook onto Cahill because they were able to be distracted by that generator. But we're going to keep this tunnel out going. We need them out of the game ASAP if we want to get the best result possible, especially with the penalty in play. So, but Cahill doing a fantastic looping around this window at main and brought enough time for Slappy to come in to potentially take a body block for them. But if Prada is able to time the Dream Snare just in time, they might be able to phase through and get the M1 onto our survivor. No, they're not able to time it. Instead, we go for the injure onto Slappy, which is still not too shabby. And we are keeping Cahill at this wagon pallet, but that will buy them even more time and distance to make it to the deep corner of A. Although we're not to the corner just yet, we have this pallet to play around, but this chase is going way too long, and we get plus 10. Would we the pallet instead of our survivor? But after this kick, I don't think Cahill can make it to anything else. They should just be zoned to the edge map of 8. And yeah, they're just playing this corner. I don't think anyone else can come in for a buy block, but there is no need because we are only at 3 hook stages. Can we? Oh no, we don't make it. We don't make it. Cahill gets the pallet stun. Once again, they get some. Oh, wait, this is our smash hit survivor. That smash hit brought them all the way to the 10 side of main. And although we will see the down, no, we don't see it again. No, this is painful to watch. So, and we were forced to leave because we realized that this chase is just going too long, Ghosty. Too long. We needed that down ages ago. Prada was looking so good, but that one chase just, oh my, turned the game on its head.
Yeah, no, especially something I wanted to mention, Peaches. We had 2 generators pop for that chase, and we didn't secure the down as well. So we've had to abandon our tunnel lab, which I think is going to spell doom and gloom for Prada since we're entering the final gen with 4 survivors up. And we can see that Ace and Ray have been both reset. Alex G is now fully healthy. So we could see some hit takes coming back through as well. Slappy also reset. So we could see some more hit takes coming through. We do see the Killer Instinct from the main building. I believe this could have been one of our resets, if not someone working on a generator well set. And we have managed to find our tunnel out again, but as much as we have the reset, we see 3 survivors here on the main building. This could be problematic with the way Cal played their chase before. If we can keep this momentum up, we could get that last gen pop with the hit takes and main building to play as well. This could be what locks in potentially just a 3-stage game, unless we can maybe get some more fresh hooks on the board, but Prada still wants that tunnel out gone. They want to try and still force that 3v1, but look at this chase that we're having from Cal. Like, they have been playing this set beautifully. The hit takes as well for the support. The way we played around the Outback 8 side of the map and getting that smasher to make it all the way back to main, to have to force Prada to drop chase. We don't have bamboos or anything to be able to play for, but oh, what a beautiful phase with the Dream Snare. That's what you love to see, being able to secure that tag onto Cal. But we once again are back on the main building, and as we saw before, we saw some very altruistic plays from our survivors, so we could expect to see some more hit takes coming through, and once again, Prada is forced to drop the chase. My goodness, this was looking really good from the start with a tunnel out secured at 3 generators, but that last chase from Cal just making 2 gens pop, reversing the pressure straight back to our survivors' favor, and the last gen at Water Tower pops, looking to be doubled by Ray, and I'm pretty sure that was Alex G, so we are at endgame with 4 survivors still up. Even Cal has still managed to live with those beautiful chases as well. We are looking to be committing on Ray at the moment to try and maybe get that fresh hook and get some extra stages on the board, which I think is still a smart play, but I think there may have been lights coming through from Ray, easily able to make it to our mid-4 filler pallet. I would have to say I am a bit like dirty with this pallet because in my previous match I didn't actually play this pallet, so it cost me a death at basement. But the gate is open, Ray is still in chase, has not been tagged yet, and we still have 2 healthy survivors. I think that was an attempt at a quick little 2-tap potentially with the pallet, but that tag does give Ray massive distance towards the back of main, towards the open gate. If one of our healthy survivors is here for the hit take, yes, we have Slappy coming in for the hit take, and Ray will make it out. Oh my god, Peaches, 2-stage game, 2 stages.
And that, oh, that is so, this is technically, welcome back, everyone. We are on to our second trial of the first set, Freddy on Dead Dog Saloon. The previous result, we saw a 0-stage game, unfortunately, for the side of Semipro. So basically, for this trial, we have to see basically pure perfection from the survivors of Semipro, and that's going to be extremely difficult to do with killer like Ray from Celestial. So most of the times, you know, almost every caster in this league or any league will see everything is possible, anything is possible, and we have seen the impossible happen. But in this case, I don't mean to be the Debbie Downer here, Ghosty, but I'm pretty sure Celestial can get at least one stage on the board for the win.
Yeah, no, but obviously, like, as much as, like, yes, this matchup is going to be a 0-stage result, we did see Pride still get 2 stages, but unfortunately with penalties for those that may have been a bit late to the party, it did result in them losing out those 2 stages. They did manage to secure on the attempted tunnel out that we saw prior, but still, like, we're going to need an absolutely perfect masterclass game. This first chase needs to last for at least 3 gens to be popping to put Semi-Pro survivors in a position to be able to make that sort of a tie condition doable, because there's no win condition. There is no win condition for the Semi-Pro survivors at the moment. We only have a tie con to play for, and we've given up a early tag very quickly with that water tower pallet, unfortunately not being enough safety for our Renato Prada, our previous killer, to play. And a pallet pop from Ray secures the set already with this first hook of the trial going in. As we said, you go into a set with no hook stages being able to be given, like, the chances of it happening are 1 in a million. Yes, and I agree more. Every time we see a match, we always keep that mindset of, like, anything is possible, but if we're being a bit more on the realist side, like, as 0-stage game to tie, that is on the same profile as literally having to go for a 4K5 tie result if we had a 4K5 result in a set. So, unfortunately for Semi-Pro, this is just not the set to be starting with, even though as well this was their set pick, which is going to be problematic because, as we know, after this we're going to be moving into Celestial's set pick, so being down a match or a set already is definitely not the start we want. And unfortunately, as Steve was just a bit too greedy on the pallet with the Dream Center, was all able to give up that first tag for Ray, and then we're kind of stuck at this sort of one fill pallet unless we do a quick little jiggy over towards the main side. But obviously we're playing this for the best result at the moment, so it looks like we might be trying to just have a bit of a juicer along near our 1 to 12 side palette. And honestly, playing this quite well. I have to give credit where it's due. Still not going down, but with the final fake out of the palette, we will be going down for this second stage of the trial. We have managed to get our first generator popped of the trial, which is great, what you love to see. We see some progress on the main building. Our Fangs stealthing around the 11 side main to get some unhooks happening, and I believe our final survival was on the water tower gen. I believe that could have been our Nia. So, oh no, Nia would have been on the unhook, and now Renato is down the water tower slide, so my apologies for that. But as we can see, Ray is sort of lurking around this bottom side of the map. The unhook does come through for free, which is what you like to see. No trades or anything like that, or extra tags, because once again, Sloppy Butcher has been brought into the trial, so resets are going to be very painful for our survivors, but at least getting that unhook, and if it was one of our survivors, which I believe it was, our Nia, for free, that's what you want so that you don't cost that extra health state. I think we just saw Finesse as well, so this is going to allow Nia to make a good amount of distance, if I was not mistaken, but we do have that fake pallet along the left-hand side, and another one to follow up, but Nia is not asleep at the moment, Peaches, so we're not going to have to worry about any Dream Slayer snowdowns or slowdowns or the pallet pops, but the Freddy Fingers extra distance, I swear you get with this killer, like, it's honestly demonic. Manages to get the tag, and now we're stuck on this little edge map filler pallet, so this could be our third hook stage on the board, Peaches, at this point, but we do at least get 2 gens popped, and the third is going to be right around the corner, so we could still be looking at a very good result here, and it does look like we're actually slugging this. This is an interesting play as our third gen does pop, but finding our Steve, this is a dangerous situation, Peaches. I don't know how our Semi-Pro survivors are going to be able to play this out for the rest of it, even with at least being at 2 gens at the stage for the third hook.
Yeah, and also we also saw the injured Prada there running off toward up toward 4 to 3 to 2. So that if Ray really wanted to, I think they could have slugged Baru and continued that chase onto Prada. And honestly, they probably could have gotten a lot of slugging going and really put even more pressure onto the side of Semipro. And yes, we do catch out Prada here doing some little standstill mind games, and we do make it through the window. That's what I'd like to see. Even though the set is lost, having this kind of result, these kind of chases can definitely bring that morale up going into the second set, but gets hit through the pallet. So unfortunate for Prada, that will be the second stage onto them. But honestly, the survivors are playing pretty dang well so far, despite everything that's happened. I mean, this is exactly what you want to see, though. Sure, the set, you lost your set, big whoop, it is what it is. We'll go into the second set with full fury and ready to go, full energy, and it is the unknown as a second. We'll dive into that deeper, but it is the harmless for a reason. So but continuing on to this match, we are taking our potentially a final chase onto Baru, as they are a death hook survivor. All they have to use is this 2 tile, but they are able to make it through the window, faking, going for the pallet, make it to the 3 pallet. This is not very strong. Oh, no! We saw the vacuum stun coming in, but once again, just a shotgun blast through the pallet. I'm pretty sure Ray does have the add-on to extend your fingernails just a little bit. I'm lying, that is not an actual add-on, but you might as well have that add-on here, Ghosty.
Yeah, no, you gotta love like that subtle little base kit I'll call it base kit tiny coup for my like definition of the Freddy M1. It is a diabolical thing that this killer has where I swear like this killer just has that little bit of an extra distance with their M1 lunges, but I think our semi-pro survivors have still played this set quite nicely. Unfortunately, we are entering the 3v1. We still have 2 generators remaining, and we are all injured where Sloppy Butcher will be coming into play, so we haven't been able to get some resets going. So, unfortunately, our Nia will be going down, and once again, getting some ground time as we're not admitting to the pickup onto them. It looks like Ray maybe trying to just end the game right here, right now. The Dream Pallets preventing our Claude from having literally anything to really play along that foresight, and we have now 2 slugs and Parada being the only remaining survivor up, but not even having a health set to really play for. We see the scratch marks in main building from Parada as we spot them rotating over towards our Nia to try and get that pickup, but at this stage, even if they get the pickup, it just turns into that repeat pattern of we get the pick, we slug, we go again. We get the pick, we get slug, we go again. So at this stage, the 4K2 has been confirmed from Ray. Quick little totem tech, I think, was trying to fake out Ray, but not falling for that. So this will be the 4K2 result for Team Celestial. Very, very strong result, and definitely would be, I think, coming into play of the mental warfare that comes into play with the competitive DBD of, yeah, this was meant to be your set pick, we just stole that from you, and now we're going to be going into our set pick, the unknown, which I can't disagree with. Peaches, as you mentioned, this killer has had a pretty unfortunate reputation brought up with it, with being known as the harmless due to time and survivors just learning to counterplay, and with the kit that Unknown has, there's a lot of counterplay to the killer, forcing it to be predominantly just an M1 killer, even though in pubs it can be a bit differently, but the pub lobbies have a much different sort of game sense, in my opinion. Competitive DBD is its own game mode for me, personally. So, who's to know? I've seen some pretty crazy results from Unknown sets, ranging from, yes, low to mid stages or high stages, all the way up to the levels of like 4K3 back, or we are firing on all cylinders, and hopefully getting a bit more back on schedule with a very nice quick setup for the second set of the match between Semipro and Celestial. But if you're a bit late to the party, as I like to always say, for those that can't always make the start, Semipro unfortunately had their set pick taken away from them by Celestial, so Celestial are currently up by 1 set, moving into their set pick, which it's an interesting one with the Unknown on Ormond Lake Mine. I can't lie, one of my more favorite sets. I really do enjoy Unknown sets, especially on a map like Ormond Lake Mine. A lot can be done with this killer on this map, especially with the line of sight that you have from the front of main. And the fact that the UVX projectile can make it all the way to the depths of stuff like mid 6, 5, even around that sort of like 8 to 9 section of the map. So you might as well say that there's going to be hopefully some sniper shots coming through for this first Unknown set, and already a very quick UVX tag onto our Nia Morale, I think it is, but I'm a bit unsure and I hate botching people's names, so I'm just going to say Nia for now. Looking for that second UVX tag, but not coming through with it. Playing the shack very nicely, but this is where this killer can be seen, as mentioned before, as the harmless. Very short clear cooldown, so if you're able to last that little bit, like dodges like that window, you can remove the weakened applied effect from the UVX and revert the killer back to just that M1 state. But and I was about to say we were about to get the tag, but our Nia doing a very good job dodging and clearing their weakened status effect from the UVX, so we're going to have to get our 2 tags again. First tag coming through on the 7 side, followed up with a very nice M1. Very crazy that this killer has like literally almost no cooldown between UVX and M1, and a beautiful follow-up shot to secure the first down. This could lead into our first pain res of the trial. And I'm also seeing, and I'm pretty sure you're a bit of a love-hate with this perk, Wretched Fate, Peaches. What are your thoughts on the field, but also this very nice first down for Ray?
Yeah, I'll start with the positive. Because I already know what I'm going to say about the Wretched Fate. It was a great first down. I like that little extra bounce that we had there onto the hill. Again, that down onto Maria. And a very nice middle hook, too. Nice painters, right? Smacked out in the middle. Especially when you're talking about that perch that you can sit up on top of. You just look around everything. You can really see everything. You can see a 3-gen, you can see 2 once you walk over there, you can kind of see the sparks flying on that bottom 6. I mean, you're really just chilling up on top of there if Ray really wanted to. But yeah, I am not a fan of Wretched Fate at all whatsoever. It is good on the A to S tier killers, but anything else under that, I feel there are just way better perks to run. I mean, you have Pop Goes the Weasel, you have Call of Brian, you have Turn Back the Clock. There is so much more to use, and it is a hex as well. So I mean, if a survivor finds it, then well, there it is, cleanse it, and that's basically about it. So at worst, it's just a nice little an extra objective that's in the way, but doesn't really hinder survivors all that much. But we do see the unhook onto Maria. Reese is able to get that, and trying to get this UVX onto Maria, doing a great job dodging this, although it will still result in a down. But that was a really nice long chase by Maria. We did see that first gen pop, and the second one is underway. It is just below 75%, but once again, Ray is getting that middle hook state right smack dab in the middle of the map. It is honestly just a fantastic hook placement, especially when you have a TP right on top of the most high progress gen, waiting for the eruption and trying to do a nice bounce shot onto Prada here, but not quite able to connect the gen yet, as eruption is still on cooldown. But oh sorry, it looks like we kicked it anyway. That's my bad. I missed the kick there, but still, we can just sit here. Look at that. We have the highest progress gen right in our vicinity. We can keep hitting it with the UVs. Oh! Bouncing it off the ceiling or off the railing to hit Prada. Very well played. If we follow up with this, okay, no, I gotta follow up that. But the pressure that Ray has right now, turning into a 3v1 this early on into the game, can spell trouble. Just barely missed Prada there. That's getting a little close there. I mean, they were able to clear the UVX, but unless someone can come in pretty soon to get the unhook on here, going to the 3v1 with 4 gens remaining, it's not going to look good for the side of Semipro. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, we do see Brew coming in for the unhook, and there will be a trade. So maybe we'll go for the pick and pain res, and yeah, that's exactly what we'll see, and then continue our chase onto Maria, as we do have a teleport that is fairly close over there. But before we do that, we want to keep pressuring Prada off of main and get that UVX. Is this a 2-tap? Unless he has balanced landing or any other exhaustion. He runs into the railing. No! Oh, Prada, it gets 2-tapped at the back of main, and Ray is now on a rampage here. If we're able to find Maria, that is basically game over. That goes to 3v1, 4 gens remaining. There's basically no progress on the map. This is kind of it's snowballing quite heavy here.
Yeah, no, as we were saying, like, this killer it should be a very mid to low stage set. This killer is not loving the stands of time, but Ray is showing that this killer is capable of some pretty good results. With the down onto Maria, this will be the Death Hook survivor removed from the trial. Steve, thankfully, Baru was able to be unhooked so they can get out of this just absolute monstrosity of a mid-map hook that's been a severe problem, I think, for semi-pro survivors. But we're entering the 3v1. We still have 4 gens remaining, and another nice tag from UVX onto Baru. These shots from UVX have been quite on point, especially up on the top main when we saw the underline 2-tap afterwards. But some of those shots that they were doing to keep Parada busy on that main gen while we were just slowly waiting out the hook timer on Maria. This shows what you can do with this killer if you have that knowledge and have played some good time on this killer. This is what you love to see with an unknown set. Yes, obviously you can play it safe and just go for some pretty simpler shots, like more direct behind the sides. But seeing some of these little sniper shots that we're seeing have been really nice to see, and a very nice down onto Parada for potentially another central hook if we opt to do so. If not, maybe this sort of 7 concrete pipes hook if we would like to just keep him a bit far away, even though it would be very hard to secure this second stage onto Parada, with this being pretty much completely up the map from all of our remaining generators. Very nice pop on the 7th gen, I believe. A very, very quick unhook, and I think we were trying to go for the little snipe onto Baru if they were back on towards that 3-star generator. But yes, we're trying to apply our weaken back onto Parada, managing to dodge it very nicely, and we're switching over towards our Jake on the 7 concrete pipe side, taking the M1 tag, but able to make a lot of good distance at the moment. We do have a little clone though sitting over on the side of Shack, which makes that place a bit more dangerous. Going for another big snipe on that 3-gen, trying to force our survivors off of it, because it does have some really good progress. And yes, it does look like Baru was actually trying to continue the pressure on that generator, avoiding the down from UVX on the one side of the map, which is good. We don't want to have another survivor down at the moment, but all 3 of our survivors are currently injured, so we're going to need to see some resets coming through, otherwise it could get a bit problematic. Big snipe over the main building. I swear to God, if
Oh.
that connected, I'm pretty sure I heard you say it in the previous class messages. I would have thrown my chair out the window. Because if that connected, my God, that would have been one hell of a snipe. But I think Ray's in a really strong position at the moment, especially with the killer Light the Unknown.
Yeah, Ray is absolutely doing a phenomenal job. We also catch now Reese's out here at 7. I mean, this is a difficult tile to play around. All we have is that little window to play around. And if we are able to make it the pallet on top of 6, then maybe it could be something to be worked around. But after getting the down, we get the eruption and we see the aura of Prada working away at that 3 generator. But still suspecting that Brew is still working on it, looking at it just a little bit. No, they're not working on it quite yet. Maybe they're working on main, maybe. Main did have a lot of progress catching that UVX onto Prada. This is a pretty having a little staring contest through the window at Shaq, but this is still quite the strong tile to use against the Unknown, even with the Shackbot already used it. Oh, Ray just predicting Prada's movement is able to get the down onto them, and we also see the pickup onto Reese's and the clean break. So in 60 seconds, we'll see them fully healthy, unless Ray has something to say about it. But once again, able to drag Prada over to this middle painter's hook. This is just a fantastic hook to have placed. Oh, almost hit that bounce shot onto Reese's there, but yeah, this is looking more and more like a 4K3. Although a lot of these generators do have some good progress. 11 a little bit, about a quarter. I know Main had a lot of progress at one point or another. It was almost done actually. I think it was like 90%, but 3 is almost done. So the survivors are cooking away at these generators. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, how did Bruto get on it? Wait,
Brutus got sniped.
what?
Brutus got
I'm sorry,
sniped
what?
along the 10.
What?
Brutus got
What?
sniped
No.
at the 10 side with a UVX.
No shot. I'm sorry, I completely missed that.
Literally along the 9 side, they just got sniped from the UVX. Oh my God, thank God for clean break so we can get the unhook onto Fighter. But, you know, Peaches,
I
Brutus got
completely...
sniped.
I need to look back at that clip because I thought Ray was just Hail Marying it and just shooting it for the heck of it. You know, if it hits, it hits. But I didn't even know there's someone there. Wow! Oh my gosh, Ray! What? I don't even know what to say. I am completely mind blown. I was trying to dive into the details. Like trying to say like what the survivors could do. You know, saying that they're doing well, and then just Ray just out of nowhere with a shot like that. I don't even know what to say, Ghosty. Yeah, take it away. That was fantastic gameplay.
Yeah, everybody look out.
No!
A sniper and the mind game onto 11 side of main, getting it down onto Parada. Oh, this is tragedy. Oh, okay. In hindsight, okay, good note here. Yes, this is really bad. We're in a 2v1 at 3 games remaining, so this is definitely big time problematic moments for our semi-pro survivors. But we did get a reset, even with that amazing snipe from Ray. Like, my goodness, I'm sorry, Peters. I'm a bit sad that you missed out on that, but like, yeah, no, that was a ridiculous snipe from Ray along the 9 side to get the down onto Baru. But they have at least managed to get full reset, so at least we're attacking this 2v1 to try and potentially at least get one more generator popped. At least full health, but the generator over here at 3 has lost so much progress. So this gen, I believe, was almost close to popping, and with all that we just saw go on, it is a regress basically back to nothing. And we only have 2 survivors left, and already Reese's is being tagged with UVX and doesn't have the Shackblood to play anymore, so it has to try and live long enough to pop one more generator. It looks like Ray's on for that. Oh, that very big time shot over the Shack. If that connected, I actually would have screamed, honestly. Like, after that slap onto Baru, I would have like, I didn't want to cut you off, Pictures, obviously, but like,
Yeah, no. Please, by all means. But
I had to jump in for that with that slap.
I do not blame you. I was so confused, but yeah, no, the survivors do have progress on the map here, and they can absolutely pop one more gen. And if they play their cards correctly, they could pop a second one, and they connect with that one as well. These UVXs are just not missing. But yeah, I know Main had a lot of progress. 11 clearly has a lot of progress. Brew is working away at it, but man, these chases just have to last just a second longer. Although Brew is playing this very well. They got the UVX off, playing this foreign lane pretty not so strong tile against the Unknown. And yeah, Ray realizes that they're pulling him all the way up to 11, meaning that one of the bottom side generators might be getting worked on. Taking the shot at 3. And we do see the Pistons pumping once again. And yeah, you do see the injured Reese's making their way up to 1, not quite able to connect with that snipe. But 1, I believe this is a lot stronger of a tile to use. I didn't get a good look of what this one was, but oh yeah, no, they can absolutely loop this for quite a long time. If Rue is working away at that generator right now at 11, they can make this work. And Reese's are just barely able to get get the UVX off of them before Ray connected with another one. But this is the chase that Reese's needs. If they can get this down to a 4K2 or a 4K1, that will make this win con so much better for the side of Semipro. But Ray walking down Reese's with the UVX in hand, teleports to main, and I think if we have eyes on Brew, that might spell the 4K3, although I don't think we have eyes on them. I think Brew was able to stealth off a little bit. I took a quick look around myself, and they were able to stealth off. Look at that. I'm personally looking at his... oh, never mind.
Never mind, we've been found along the back main near the locker. You give him some nodders like, yes, I am sneaky Steve, I am stealthy, but not quite enough to avoid Ray's gazing eyes and a beautiful UVX to get the tag up on the main. We don't have the... Oh, sorry, I think we do have the God Pallet down to 11, so, but we're going for that quick little drop shot well played by Baru to avoid it, and I think we should still have this pallet. Yes, but it's still down, so we have it to play. The Firecracker coming through to try and disorientate Ray, but we're in a very tough position to be in with the UVX mask still through. But we do manage to clear it as well, but at this stage, you're the last survivor in chase, injured already. Ray doesn't even have to go commit to those UVX down, since even a simple M1 will go through here, but it looks like we might want to try and finish it with a little bit of style and get that UVX down. But with the gap closing ever so quickly, we only have this tile pallet of one, but bolts it beautifully to avoid the M1. Going for a quick little orbital. If this lands, oh my god. Oh, that was so close to landing. Okay, Ray, you've been definitely putting your work into the unknown to be landing some of these shots. Like, I think they went for that little snipe on Baru again, like we saw before, Peaches, but like, at this stage, I don't think there's anything that can be done for the Semipro survivors. 4K3 at this point will be locked in, and we have to play a little 50 at the power, so we will be having to unfortunately eat that UVX. We do have the clone up on the top of the main as well, so we can deny the rotation up to the top, and with UVX in hand, I think this will be where it spells the end for this set and locks in a 4K3 for Celestial's pick of the unknown. And as I mentioned, Peaches, not something you see very often, a 4K4 win condition has been now set for Semi-Pro's killer player, which this killer is meant to be the harmless, as it's like well known to the DBD community. This killer should be stages, but we just got a 4K3, saw some ridiculous UVX shots. That mid-hook out the front of main was dire.
Welcome back, everyone. We are on to the second trial of the second set, Unknown on Orman Lake Mine. The previous result was a 4K3 set by Ray of Celestial. So now, Prada from Semipro has to get a 4K4 for the win con, or go for probably the easier result to go for a 4K3 to get the tie con and move on to the Death Slinger on Suffo Pit 1. But yeah, this is a lot better of a build. I love Turn Back the Clock. I think you were also a fan of this perk as well. It gets so much value, especially on this map where you can sit up on that perch right there on main, and if there's even a hook on below you, you can get that turn by the clock either at 10, you can throw it at 3, you can, honestly, it has so much distance, you can use it mid chase. It is such a phenomenal perk, and I think now that if I saw Prado running Crush Fate, I would say, yeah, no, there's no chance he's winning.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree, Peaches. I'm a big connoisseur of the turn back the clock, just like you are. One of my all-time favorite perks. Very limited use with certain killers, though, and thankfully does not apply the rough stuff like Eruption or Pop Goes Wizard, because that would be a... I would question the devs' like work with that. I'd be like, why are we doing this? But this is not the starting you want from Celestial if you are trying to sort of push for that best result. With a very quick down onto Alex G along the 9 side and a pain res as well. This is the start that you need from Prada to potentially try and play for. I'll be a bit real for the Tycon, because I think even with that amazing performance from Ray, a 4K4 with this killer is very tough to achieve. So still a very good start and a very quick unhook coming through with the UVX, but this does mean that both of our survivors should be weakened, so we'll be entering our second chase already weakened and in deep wound as Prada takes a quick tag onto Alex G to get rid of that BT timer. And we are weakened still as well, so if we manage to get that follow-up shot, this could have been a very quick down as well. And as we're seeing, turn back the clock being applied mid-chase, knocking our Fang off the gen, so that Al was not able to continue on. Once again, as you mentioned, Peaches, showing that this perk has a lot of good value when you're even in a chase. But another quick down onto LSG. This is looking pretty good for Parada and a very nice strong start for what you're playing for, but we still can't let 2 gens pop otherwise we lose our win con, so it's still going to be tough.
Did you hear? I don't know if you heard that the sound cue, but someone dropped the Shack pallet
Oh.
as they were walking past it. I think I didn't see which survivor. I think this is Ray. I think Ray suspected Prada. No, not Ray. Sorry, Cahill was expecting Prada to take Alex into the basement. Was playing for the pallet stun, but Prada instead went for the hook in front of Shaq, which I think is slightly better, especially if you want to get those UVX shots and fire them away at the generators. But I thought that was just a little funny audio cue. Hey, oh, thanks for Shaq pallet. I appreciate it. I didn't have to even work for it. But yeah, so we get that pallet break, and I think this is a pretty good hook location, at least for the bomb side, because we are hitting a lot of these good shots. We hit Zlappy there at that middle 3 gen. We hit Cahill over there at the 7. I guess the tubes or the whatever those whatever that tile is. So if we are able to tunnel out Alex, turn this to a 3v1 with the gens remaining, or even if we get the 4k3, we could be looking pretty solid actually. So I don't know. I think we should still go for the pick and pain res and then rely on our TPs to catch up to Alex. But we are connecting with this UVX, so if he's able to get a second shot and teleport right on top of him, Zlappy isn't going to be able to make it in time, but he misses the UVX. He gets it onto. Oh my gosh! Wait! This is huge! Wait! Prada could possibly bring this back. If he hits the shot onto Slappy, there would be so much pressure on the map. Alex G is down. This is the tunnel out at 4 gens remaining. We go for the pallet kick, and then Cahill is also down. Slappy is UVX'd. This is actually, I'm sorry, I just got chills going up and down my body. This is actually the moment that Prada is looking for, and they could potentially get that win con, or at least secure that time to move on to the Death Slinger here. What am I watching here, Ghosty?
No, this has been a very strong showing from Parada. We did see a very unfortunate set with the Nightmare set, but Parada is back, full guns are blazing. I will have to say some as well, pages. We almost caught the reset as well, because I believe our 2 remaining survivors, Ray and Zlappy, were resetting by the 11 main God Palette, and we were traversing quite close by that. So if we found that reset, just then and there, that could have actually potentially been the 4k4 win con that we are trying to hold on to, potentially secured at this stage, but thankfully, we didn't spot that out, because that would have been a big upset, I think, for Celestial, since a 4k3 on Unknown is still a phenomenal result to get, and definitely puts the pressure up, but Prada is just on point at the moment. Yes, they played the Nightmare set quite well, and it was just unfortunate that with the penalties and the altruistic plays from Celestial Survivors, they weren't able to get much more, but it seems like Prada might be a bit more comfortable with the Unknown, because they are on fire at the moment, getting a 4th hook on the trial with a Death Survivor as well. We do see main on Ray, very high progress, so maybe our survivors are trying to slow things down a little bit, realizing, okay, we are getting a bit like concerningly close to that point where we could actually unfortunately hand over the win con. But another problematic hook along that 3 side as well. It is a hook that can be protected by Prada from the main building while pressuring Ray off this main generator. I think we did see an unfortunate skill check along the Shack side as well from Zlappy, so we know where both of our remaining survivors are, and Ray has been tagged now, so they're not able to go in for an unhook, but this is where our survivors might just opt just to let Cal sit on hook, build up as much gen pressure as we can. We're going to give the main building gen a kick and apply our eruption to it. Good dodge on the UVX as well, even though it would have only applied the weakened status effect, but we have to be very careful here, because if Ray goes down here, that's going to leave Zlappy to try and get an unhook onto Cal, and that means that we have no longer any gens being worked, and we are going to be giving that second hook up on the board. So quick little TP from Prada does push Zlappy off their generator, unfortunately based on making it so that we can't get that insta-pop on the corner of Shack, which I was a bit concerned, because even in the prior set I was getting a little bit worried that I think it was potentially, I can't remember who it was playing Shack at the time, but you've got to be careful with playing Shack, because yes, against most healers it is a very strong resource to play, but if it's one of those you don't actually want to be hugging the wall too tight, because the Unknown can insta-pop their UVX on the corner of Shack and allow you to get weakened, or everybody weakened, injured. So one of those, playing it wide is actually not a bad shout, but we do find Ray on the backside of main as we get the unhook onto Cal. Very good timing for that to try and get away and get some more gen pressure on the board. So it's going to be up to Ray if they can last in a good chase here and secure at least one more gen to at least lock in that tie condition, but Prada has had such a good game in this Unknown set, and I don't think Ray actually makes it back to the Water Tower pallet. It is already dropped, so they'll be going down as well. Eruption will be proccing on both main and Shack, and we have spotted the aura of Zlappy as well, our remaining healthy survivor. So Zlappy, we're going to have to cook up a storm of the chase, but we're already going to be giving up a health set with a quick little drop down M1 tag along the one side of main. This could spell problems for Celestial Survivors, Peaches, if we keep this pressure up that Prada has been performing at the moment. This has been an outstanding unknown set from both sides, and definitely not what I was expecting to see for our second set. But if this keeps going this way, Prada could still actually take this set away from Celestial if they keep this momentum up, and especially with
Wait.
a second slug onto Zlappy, if we catch out Cal here, this could be 4K4 secured at this point, Peaches.
No way. And wait, do we see the pools of blood? Because this is the direction that Cahill was going to. And we might have eyes on them just a little bit. No, we're looking around the 8 side. If we look up further up the map, we'll see them. We see the pick on the race. So now we know exactly where both survivors are at. This is Prada's moment. If they want to secure this 4-4, this is it. We find Ray. We can maybe get hit and go for the pain res, or we can try and teleport back to main, as that's where we saw Zlappy die. Oh no, sorry, over at closer to 2. I guess we go for the pull. I think that is a safe choice because we know that Cahill has to go for the pick here, or else it's like there's not enough gem pressure on the map to pop anything to get that Tycon. So we do see the pick, and we know exactly where both survivors are at. We see, I believe that is Cahill going under main, and we see Zlappy staying here at 3 at this Orman tile. But if Prada is able to wrap up these chases even faster than before, we might see this 4K4. I believe Cahill is going to be going for the pickup on unhook onto Ray, which they do end up get the nice lunge onto Zlappy. We don't have any TPs over there to make it over to Ray and Cahill. So this is still pretty close for both sides. Getting that turn back the clock onto 10. They were not prioritizing the reset. They want to get that gem pressure going. They see Cahill going over it to 11. I believe they're going to go downstairs main, or sorry, downstairs 11. Ooh, Prada playing some mind games. Can they jump on top of the survivor? No, they're able to check spot correctly. So they're able to make it to the pallet in this tower at 11. But this is getting really close. The chase is going a little bit long. I ain't gonna lie to you. And this is a tunnel as well, so we could go for this swing, but not able to connect. Cahill is going on a chase of a lifetime. That's exactly what they needed for Celestia. And we do catch a Ray trying to go for the pickup onto Zlappy, going for a shot, not quite able to connect. We see the life play making their way down to Shaq, as Shaq is a lot stronger of a tile to use. But this match is on a nice, this win con is on a nice edge here for Prada. They need to wrap up these chases. They got to get done. We're going to apply the eruption at least to get that regression whenever we do get the down here. But we see the pickup in the background. The pressure is slowly slipping from Prada, but if we're able to, we get the window fake from Ray. We're going for the TP. Can we get the hit onto them? We do get the hit, and we know exactly where both survivors are, but I think we will just go for the pick, so then everyone except Zlappy will be a painters. But honestly, Prada can now hook any survivor, and it will be a solid choice, because Ray and Cahill will be death hook survivors. Zlappy is a painters. I believe this is also a painters, if I'm not mistaken as well, but oh, Ghosty, this is so close right now.
Yeah, no, with going into a set match with a 4K4 win con, and no discredit to Prada, like, they have just shown that they are on fire, but like, a 4K4 on a kill like Unknown, I was very skeptical at first. But we found the reset on both Zlappy and Cal. Hold on a second. We may have just done what would seem to be an impossible. We could actually see this win condition met. We do get the reset onto Cal, but immediately following up with a UVX to get the injured tag onto Cal, and they have to descend it back towards this water tower side of the map and have to try and clear in time. The firecracker coming through though to disorientate Prada, making some more distance towards the backside of the water tower, and this is where it's still going to be up to if Cal can win some 50s at the moment, because we are still weakened, but we managed to dodge the UVX and get the clear through, so the unhook onto Ray can come through. We do have a healthy survivor on the board, but we need to get a gen popped at this stage. Cal just has to play for their life at the moment and get a really good chase going here. And if we manage to at least secure that one more gen popping, at least we do manage to get the tie condition at the moment. But considering a 4K4 was looking very, like, not what you'd expect to see, Prada has come out, guns are blazing, and honestly is in a really good position to potentially still actually make this win con if we get a very quick hook onto Cal, so that we're removing a second survivor from the trial. And with Ray already being on death hook, at worst, this is looking like a 4K3, which is still the set tying. Pain res for Cal's last hook as well, hitting, I believe, yes, this is our Shack Generator, and it was onto Zlappy. If we get a quick chase onto Zlappy, this will be another pain res follow through. We get the tag with UVX, a little barrel thing on the side, not giving Zlappy enough distance to avoid the UVX. So it's going to be up to if Ray can get one more gen done, and Zlappy just has to last, but with UVX in hand, they are not lasting, and this is our potentially a pain result, but no, we're looking to end the game right here. And if we do find Ray, we will do basically what we felt was impossible and manage to get the 4K4 with Ray being caught out of main. I think Prada has just brought Semipro back into the swing of things, and this is definitely what we needed to see with this set. If we manage to get this quick down with only this front main palette to play for, which we can just hold Ray at this stage, not really any chances for Slappy to try and make it out the hatch at this point, because we can just obviously slug Ray or just hook more lower bottom side of the map and then get the pick onto Slappy. And with the UVX in hand, we can apply it. There's not really a lot to do. And with the lingering hitbox, we get the down onto Ray. We know we just have to hook Slappy to secure that extra fresh hook and let them die. And with Ray being on the front main, Peaches, the 4K4 win con has been achieved. Prada locked the hell in, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say, did what I thought was the impossible, and I put Semipro back into the swing of things. We will be seeing the Death Slinger set on Suffer 1. It's all going to come down to who has the better snipes and who can play Death Slinger well, but my goodness, what an unknown set.
I am absolutely mind blown seeing the 4K4.
Welcome back, or what a previous set that we just saw was the unknown set, Celestial set pick. If you missed it, Semi-Pro's Parada was able to do what a lot would say is the impossible and secure the 4K4 result needed to not tie the set, but literally win the set. So with that win from Semi-Pro, it has made the teams 1-1. So we will actually be transitioning to the Death Slinger. On Suffer Pit 1, teams are battling it out now for the win, since this will be the final set of this series out of the 4 we have planned for all of our amazing viewers tonight. But it's all going to come down to who can land their shots and who has a better understanding of this killer. It looks like Baru will be the killer for Semi-Pro on the Death Slinger, so interested to see what kind of shots they can perform and if we do get some crazy snipes. And I'm seeing a very nice, pretty standard looking build with the Eruption Pain Res combination with Call of Brine as well and Corrupt for our early game. And I believe we saw the standard Broken Chain and Cigar. They expected to see add-ons for this killer, but Death Slinger, bit of an interesting set. Not the strongest killer. You don't see crazy amounts of this set, but it is always good to see the Death Slinger brought up, and it looks like we have a very nice 4-gen towards the bottom side of the map, which obviously Corrupt's not going to really cover too much of that, so we're going to have to make sure that our sides don't cross too early and can get some free gen pressure on it. We do see the scratch marks leading around the 9 side of the map, so we're going to be entering our first chase relatively quickly unless we manage to avoid the gaze of Baru. But what are your thoughts, Peaches? We've got a Death Slinger set up here now, and obviously some pretty crazy shots can come through, but not the strongest killer, even though a pretty good map, but a nice setup on the bot side. This could lead to a very good result. I'm going to make a small prediction of, like, I've seen usually some 4K0, 4K1s, if not some pretty good high stages, so I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think the high stages is probably the more likely result, unless that Slinger is able to hook in the very tight 3-gen or very tight 4-gen, whatever it may be. Then we can start seeing those 4K0, 4K1s, even the unlikely, but also I have seen the 4K2s as well. So if Brew is on top of his shots, they're able to land, and especially the hook placement is on point, then I think we could definitely see that 4K range, or even like I said, like the 4K0, whatever it may be. But we are the survivors though of Celestial are absolutely insane on the stealthing right now. We saw some faint scratch marks toward the middle area, but no eyes on any survivor yet. These guys are ping pong, like the comms right now are on point in that BC. That is for sure, to be able to stealth this well. We see a little bit of not too much progress on 5, but we saw a little bit on 7, or I guess this is more 8. We saw a little bit on the top side, but Bruce kind of got to be sweating a little bit, because I mean, basically no eyes until right now, where we finally see the scratch marks of Alex G making their way toward the Orbital, which can be pretty strong against the Death Slinger. And we also see the noise notification of Call of Brine. Someone hit a good skill check, so that will be letting Brew know at least, okay, someone is working at this gen right next to the chase. So Brew could potentially get a nice shot through the window of this Orbital and get this hit, using the, get the hit onto them. Or we can just be happy with leaving that and going onto this generator, because we heard it. Maybe I would have taken a quick peek at that generator instead of taking the chase onto Alex, but maybe because of the stealthing that we saw prior, they're like, yeah, no, let's just make sure we get a confirmed hook, get a confirmed down, and then we can worry about the generators. Get our perks going, get our pain resist going, and we will be good. Going for another shot onto Alex G at the window, not quite able to connect, and we're gonna vault through this window. Yes, we will, vaulting right into our survivor. We might follow it up with an M1 rather than a shot. No, we do go for the shot, and we do get it through the window. Very well played by Rube, getting the first down and the eruption procs, but I think unless Brew can make, there's a pain res in play or somewhere nearby. Oh, there is a pain res right next to us, and the down happened right next to one of the active generators as well. So we'll be able to apply the eruption, and if we are able to get this pain res in time, we might be able to stop any of these gens from popping in time. No, we're not going to, but still. I think Brew is in a fairly solid position, giving the stealthing at the start. Here goes to. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it was looking like a bit of a slow start for Baru with our Celestial Survivors playing very well with the stealth. I'm pretty sure pretty much out stealthing Corrupt as well, but obviously this top side of the map is not probably what we are playing for too much. We're going to probably just see these gens on the top side get popped and make this area of the map just a free chase zone while we then tackle up the 4 gen. But in saying that, we do know that Ray is working away at that gen down on the 7 side of the map, so it does look like Baru is unaware that we did, like, our survivor has committed to that gen, or is just playing more into, I just want to try and get as many stages on the board as we can for Team Semipro, and just make it so we have the best chances going into the final game after this one. So, with that being said, we see the gen down on the 4 side being popped as well, so I think Ray may have actually, oh sorry, the 5, I think Ray may have actually converted over towards more the 5 side to break up the 4 gen, but that means that we know roughly where 2 survivors are, with Zlappy being spotted on the top side but not returning just yet. So we have a survivor sort of on the top area of the map to sort of be here to pressure this unhook and keep Aru around this hook at 3 on Alex G. But we are entering that point where Alex G will be going second. Looks like Zlappy has just rotated away and just accepted that this is going to be going through. But this water tower gen was one of their very high progress gens. So that unfortunate down onto Alex G was a bit of a rough spot to be dying, since it did remove all that pressure on the water tower gen. But we also hit this main building generator, also very, very high progress. Cal has been cranking away at this motor and is in a bit of a rough spot with the little corridor that they got themselves in. But Brew very patient with their shot, opting for that M1 tag and the Power Stun as well, with the Firecracker being dropped as well. So Brew will have to look away from a follow-up shot, going for the eye down the barrel, missing the shot over the pallet. That would have been a beautiful shot to see. And we do see the unhook come through from Zlappy onto LXG, and FTP being applied to give LXG that extra health state to play their life, hopefully, for their final chase if they do get found out, which is definitely what looks to be Brew's target at the moment. Wants to remove the survivor from the trial as soon as possible, which I feel like it could be a bit of a upset, because it does mean that we have left our bottom side 4gen completely unguarded. But that was a beautiful shot onto Cal to secure the down and another pain res, but I don't think we'll be able to get it quick enough unless we have one million behind us. No, we have unfortunately not got a pain res behind us, so I think Shaq actually just popped, so we have completely disassembled the bottom side 4gen that we had to play for, and we no longer, I believe, have that top side 3gen, I believe, to play for. If not, we do know that that main building gen was very high progress, so our survivor side from Celestial have done very well. Yes, we don't have that 3gen top side anymore as well, so we've lost all of our map pressure with that quite nice bottom side 4gen setup that we had originally. And now it's a problematic situation of we have the main building and 7 side gen split, which, if it was a more high tier, like something like Blight or something like that, or even Ghoul, you could potentially have a bit more of an easier time holding on to that. But with a killer like Slinger, that's not probably a split that you're going to be able to hold. So we're going to have to try and cash in as many stages as we can. Beautiful little shot onto Cal to try and remove that BT, but opting to break with the cigar to make it so we had a shorter cooldown, and a nice follow-up shot as well. This is what you like to see, because I believe we did have some pain res hooks down on the bottom side still. Yes, we do. We have that bottom mid pain res hook, so we'll be able to put Cal onto that, get our pain res going. Actually, no, I think we did actually. We may have already got our pain res. I might be mistaken, actually. So, obviously more for the top that, but main has popped as well. So we're still looking at a very diabolical split with the water tower and 7 gen, but a hook in the middle of it. Repressed coming through, I believe, to block that water tower gen's progress from being able to be kicked from Baru, and Eruption being applied with Call of Brine as well. So still in a pretty good position, I think, Peaches, but with the Death Slinger the way they are, I think we're at the stage you'd sort of be expecting maybe a little bit ahead, but I think we're at a pretty comfortable position with this sort of a set.
Yeah, I think Brew isn't looking too bad with this gen split, though. I think one of these gens will have to pop. I don't think we're going to see the 4K1 or the 4K0, but I think Brew should start going for these fresh hooks now, because even if we get down to the 3v1, like I said, the gen split is just way too large, and there's no way that Brew will be able to hold it. Like you said, if it was Blight, if it was Ghoul, shoot, Hillbilly, Nurse, someone of that caliber, maybe we could still see having that nice little standoff. Maru swinging through the pallet, gets the stun. Wait, did the pallet actually stun? I didn't even see it. That was a very odd inner.
Hit through.
it was a very odd interaction indeed. But yeah, we get our nice third fresh and third pain res onto Ray. Very nice, well played by Baru, getting those stages on the board. Yeah, I was just saying, going for the tunnel at this stage. I mean, it'll still be beneficial, you know, turn to the 3v1, but with the spread, it'll still be difficult to hold it. So going for the painters, securing those freshes, getting the best results possible for your team whenever you swap sides, I think is the better play to go at hand. I think that is what Brew is doing. Although we do see, oh my gosh, what a shot! Baru from downtown put the scope on his rifle, fired away, and that is the fresh hook Slappy I was telling you about, and that's a pain res. Well played by Baru, and we are able to hook it right on that active generator as well that is still currently regressing. So this will give us a little bit of an idea of which gen has the most progress. I believe that was 7 that actually got pain res, so that does give Baru enough time to walk down there and get even more stages on the board. But what a Hail Mary from Baru. Well played. And yeah, we do make it over to 7. We do hear that high progress, and Alex running the wrong way, running into the killer. There are edge maps though, but if we can get this M1 and follow it up with the M2, this could be actually looking extremely deadly for survival. Oh, that was getting close there, but we do have our eruption call of Brian, so 7 will be regressing quite a lot here. But Brew is absolutely on fire, and everyone is injured. And we hear another survivor here at Shack. I think they threw that Shack pallet just a little bit too early. This is Ray. This is another survivor that we want to go for. They are worth the most. Going for another snipe. Ooh, no, not quite yet. Just a little too far. Doing some jigging and yet trying to avoid this snipe. This is getting really close. If we land this, we could get this down onto Ray, and we do land the shot, and this will be the down onto Ray with also the final gen popping. But Baru looking in a pretty solid position regardless of the gens popping, and if we make it to this basement, this will basically be I believe this is 4 fresh 8 stage result if the survivors decide to not go for it.
Yeah, no, I won't lie. I had a bit of a die to with that snipe on the main building, so I was so glad that you were having the yap for that one, because I was almost choking with that amazing snipe onto, I believe it was...
Welcome back, everyone. We are on to the second trial of our tiebreaker, Death Slinger on Suffo Pit 1. The previous result was a 4 fresh 8 stage result. So now our survivors of Semipro have to get a 3 fresh 9 stage result to get this win. But I'm sorry, it was such a phenomenal gameplay from Baru from the previous set. The killer side of performance, especially that shot at main, really was a make or break shot, especially with the beginning of that trial of Celestial, the stealthing, but not quite able to have the same stealthing. Semipro gets caught up very early with Reese's over here at 8, and I will talk about the build in just a moment, and we follow it up with a nice shot as well. Nice little flick there at the rock, and we do get the down extremely early on. Very well played from Ray. Yeah, this is exactly what you need to see if you want to get this one, because I mean, 4 fresh 8 stage, that's a pretty darn solid result for the Death Slinger, but that's a very early down as well. I think we have a very tight 3-gen top side here. Is that 10-11 main? Or am I mistaken? Oh my gosh.
I think we are partially 4-gen on the top side, but I think it's more actually leaned towards the bottom side, because I think we've got 3-5 Shack, and I think that's around 9, so I think possibly more towards the bottom side.
That 3-gen though is disgusting. Look at that. It hook right in the middle of main. Like, sure, the 4-gen is absolutely can be the better spot to have, but I mean, this early on, that's a pretty nice hook. Ray can, if Ray realizes that all 3 survivors are down here, hello, we see a peek at the corner, and again, the shot onto Maria as well. Ray can just hold this spot right here and wait for someone to cross over. So Ray's in such a down position. Yeah, the 4-gen is definitely the better spot to be in, but Ray is just happy with keeping this 3-gen, keeping this hook right in the middle, and they really have no reason to leave except just to poke at that gen right there at 8 and getting a random shot onto Maria.
Yeah, no, honestly, looking at it, like, considering that, like, if we get a 4K, we win this. This is looking like a very nice position to be able to hold, especially with such a fast down, not able to repeat that really nice stealthing that we saw from Celestial Survivors. We have a death look at 4. Inside, by far a very, very holdable 3-gen setup. Unfortunately, Peaches, I'm sure you've noticed it once again. Wretched Fate has made its appearance, so I'm sure that you're like, growling on the inside that that's been made to come back. But this is such a good position to be in, and we've also spotted the unhook. If we get this shot onto our Ada, we won't even get the unhook. We get the shot as well, so this is a guaranteed trade at this point. We are going to have to take the M1 as we do see Parada is rotating around as well to see guarantee, and we are going to have to reload. But this is a Death Hook Survivor at 3 gens remaining, and they have to escape this top side to avoid being returned to this 3 gen setup that we have, and we still have it to play for afterwards. A lot of BT has been burnt off, so we can just take a shot here, wait out the last bit of BT, and we're right next to a hook here as well, so this is a death at 3. We still have a very nice 3 gen to hold on to play for that sort of 3 gen setup if we do give up the other gens as well. And the last hook onto Reese's is a pain res as well. So even if our survivors do get some work on this top side 3 gen, one of those gens is copying a massive hit from pain res. And now we're in the 3v1 with this nice 3 gen setup that we have on the top side. So yes, we had a bit more of a nicer setup on the bottom side, but we have 2 survivors up along this main side. One of them injured as well. So if we can land this shot, which maybe not with life, some good mobility from it and allow him to avoid that shot, we could have been in that exact same situation again of a hook right in the middle of this topside 3 gen that we are holding on to at the moment. Sort of playing some 50s at the main window, but the shot is coming through, so this will be another down up at this topside onto Parada. Okay, Ray, I think that range killers may be your forte, because even we saw an incredible. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, I was like, are we about to like throw a massive upset with that firecracker save, but not able to quite connect it through? That would have been a big game changing moment, but we are still stuck in a very dangerous situation. A hook even deeper now in this topside 3 gen. We know where one of our survivors is, with Maria being up all. Sorry, no, our Ada Baru up along the top side as well. So we know that one survivor is along the top side already. So we just don't know quite where Maria is at the moment. But they are injured, so they're going to be playing pretty safe because they don't want to be getting called out at the moment. But we've got a hook survivor, we've got an injured survivor, and Baru's our only healthy survivor that could come in to potentially go for a trade. And we know that they were on the top side, so we're not going to look at really going through away from this top side. And the problem is, we just saw the reset onto Maria come through, unless that was a self-reset from like a med kit or something, and the gem pop at the same time. So we guarantee know where one of our survivors are. It looks like it's Baru crossing over to the top side, and Maria is over by the water tower. So we have caught eyes on them as well. So if we catch off Baru's location as they try and send us through the 11 side, and it looks like Prada is... well, Ray, sorry, has been spotting their cross. Not able to connect that snipe, so they are able to walk more in towards getting this unhook, but this is still going to be a very tough unhook situation unless we go for the 2-person save. And with that being said, if we go for the 2-person, it means that we're going to have 2 injuries on the board, but it looks like we are just going to be straight up trading. But this is the problem. If we get a quick shot in to follow up onto Prada and just do what we did before on our first down onto, or final down onto Reese's, and just hold them out for the BT to finally expire, this could be our second Death Hook survivor with 2 gens remaining. We only need 9 stages on the board to take the set, not even a 4K. So Ray is in a very powerful position right now, still having a very nice 3 gen on the top side to play. A slug onto Baru, and Parada in chase, leaving poor Maria to try and get a pick, which we do see coming through, which is really good. We need to get our survivors back into play, but we're not going to have much more, even if we didn't take the shot. That will be a down onto Prada, and we should be able to drag up towards back that 10 side, or maybe we'll take a quick hook on the pain race along this top mid side, which does look like is what we're going for our 5th stage of the trial. Honestly, Peaches, this is looking really, really good for Ray at the moment, but Semi-Pro survivors have been playing this really well. We just need to try and get down to the bottom side of the map, get as far away from this top side 3 gen as we can to really start clawing back pressure towards the survivor side.
Yeah, they can absolutely bring it back. Like I said, Deathslinger isn't the strongest killer. I mean, Ray has absolutely been putting on a showcase, showing why they are the one for the job to play this killer. But put an eruption onto 11 that basically has no progress on it. We do see the unhook onto Pronto though, so this could be the start of something. If I didn't see who that was that got the unhook, but if everyone is able to stealth out, get that reset, you know, maybe. It's gonna be rough, but the comms just have to be on point, and that's really about it. They'll probably split main and 10 maybe, if I had to guess, if that's how they want to tackle the 3 gen. But the one thing that can't happen though, as you already pointed out, we cannot get hooked in this top side area. We cannot get hooked in this top side area, and especially we cannot find product, because if we go down to the 2v1 with 2 gens or 1 gen remaining, that basically is the end of the game. So there's a lot for Semipro to have to do. We do see Prado down there though. They're kind of showing face a little bit. That I'd be a little. I'd be very, very cautious. We do see Wretched Fate also leaving the trial, so Baru will be able to work away at the gens without any hindrance to him. But yeah, I wonder if I think Prada might just be baiting a little bit to buy time for some of the other survivors to rotate from the 3 side of main, or like from the 3 side of the map, maybe. That's what I'm guessing, because like I said, yeah, no, Prada's not going anywhere near these generators at all whatsoever, because that would be basically be, yeah, that would be it. So a little slower of a, and like slower to this part of the game right now. I don't think there's any gem pressure at all anywhere else on the map. We do see Prada getting a little closer. I'd be careful there. You are a Death Hook survivor, but they are making their way toward the bottom. Yeah, I think that is absolutely the play. Prada being the bait. Come chase me, and don't worry about Baru and Maria sneaking behind you in a trench coat, trying to hop on those generators top side. But yes, almost hit the shot onto Prada, but yeah, they're way too far down the bottom side of the map. But with that chase, though, I believe Baru and Maria will have rotated toward the top side. Where, I am not so sure, but I think that was a good play from Prada. A risky one, but one that paid off.
Yeah, no, without giving up the tag early on and making our way down to the bottom side, forcing Ray to avoid, like, just abandon that chase. This is the pressure we're sort of needing to see. Looks like Prada is going to be popping that final gen down the bottom side with Shaq, but unfortunately, Maria's been caught out in a bit of a dangerous situation. If we get this follow-up shot, this could be another dangerous situation of having a survivor hooked along that top side. We're not going to really be able to make anything. Also, we're just going to walk Maria down along the 3 side and then possibly drag back up more towards the 2 side. So this is where it gets a bit tough as well, since, yes, we've at least made it so we're down to this 3-gen situation. We can make it up towards this top mid-section hook, and then still patrol our 3-gen while guarding this hook as well. So this is all going to come down to if our survivors can make it down to the bottom side of the map and get away from this top side and allow the pressure to start building up. We do hear some working progress on this main building gen as well, as we're eyeing off the unhook, but we've managed to scare Prada off of the unhook as well, and we now have a Death Hook survivor in a bit of a predicament. If we follow up the shot with a nice sub, which we managed to connect. This is where the whole a single mistake could potentially cost the game. That snipe onto Prada was insane. I'm pretty sure that was like literally on the edge of the hitbox connecting there, and that removes Prada from being able to come in for the unhook onto Maria, which leaves Baru the only person that can go for an unhook, but it looks like they are just sticking on the 11th side of the map, managed to sneak up to it and get some good progress on that generator. So we're going to have to go check on it soon, which it looks like Ray might be having a look around for soon enough to check in on the progress. So we're going to need to be very careful, Baru. We can't afford to let them go down and then get another hook on the top side. We're going to have to make our way bot side, and we have managed to get a snipe onto Baru, and I'm sorry, they weren't working the 11th side, then they're working on the 10 gem, but that's going to be the unattachment from the chain as the unhook onto Maria comes through. But we're in this situation again where we've got a survivor stuck along this top side, and we go down here. This would be a very dangerous hook inside of our 3 gen. We know that the Eldritch survivors are most likely crossing back down towards the bottom side, and we are going to have to give this 10 side gen a kick to make sure that it doesn't get popped and apply or rushing back down onto it. We still also have 2 pain race hooks in the bank, so if Maria or Baru gets down in a very bad spot near a pain raise, this could spell dire for the Semipro survivors, but they are attacking this 3-gen very, very nicely. We are unfortunately going to have to go for a full reset though, so most of that progress that they've been able to manage on that 10 side generator will be unfortunately regressing and probably go down to like the 10-20% mark, or if not gone. A slow reset here is the play. We need to get our health states back. We can't attack this 3-gen if we are injured, and we just need to make sure that no matter what tag we take, we always make it bottom side. We do see Prada getting reset on the HUD in the background, so the other survivors will be getting reset very shortly. Yep, there's Maria as well, and we'll pretty sure see Baruto. Baru will be next up on the line for resets. We see some scratch marks leading towards the 4 side of the map, though, so we have found one of our survivors, and I don't think there was blood there, so I believe this will be one of our healthy survivors. Yes, it is Prada, and if we manage to land that shot, that could have been big, big problems. We do have Eruption, though, applied to 2 of our generators, main and 10 side as well. And hold on a second, Baru has been spotted along the 10 side, crossing back up to main, trying to sneak in to get the regression going off of the 10 side gen and get it working again. But this is dangerous. This is our only injured survivor, while Prada is still coming in from the 9 side to try and keep Ray's attention away from Baru so they can try and maybe cross down the 3 side to look at a reset happening. I don't think we've had any of our survivors been able to sneak back up to the top side, so we know where 2 of our survivors are. Prada been really good at playing the come get me, I will just send a bot side and make it so you can't come down this way. And we have got some pressure built up on that 10 side generator, but it is slowly being eaten away with the kick, and we do have Eruption applied to it as well. So we're going to need a pretty good chase here and one that lasts, but obviously Ray is going to be in no position where they want anything to do with that bot side. They're going to play into this 3-gen, but a nice reset onto Baru means we at least have all of our health sets back. And Peaches, we can't do this forever. There is gen regression limits that we have to be considering, and this 10-side gen, I think, has been hit at least 2 or 3 times, so we can't hold on to this 3-gen forever. We're going to need to make a play sooner or later, or, as we mentioned, like maybe some slip-ups happen, and once I make a mistake, but we can't keep this up forever.
Speaking of committing at one point or another, Baru would be the survivor that Ray would need to go for if all else fails. Because right now, we're at 3 fresh 6 stages. We need 9 stages on the board. Uh-oh, that is not good, but I'll go back to that point in a bit. If Ray's able to take this snipe onto Prada, turn this into 2v1, 1 gen remaining, could be not so good. Oh, not good for the Prada just barely able to get through that window and barely misses that shot, which would buy enough time for Baru and Maria to get a little bit more gen pressure on the map. That was extremely risky by Prada. That, like I said, going 2v1, that's basically the end of the game, and then Ray can commit for whoever they want. But, well, I was about to say, if all else fails for Ray and one of these generators pops, they could go for Baru, can camp them to death, and that would be the win as well, as that would be 9 stages. We're currently at 6 stages. Brew is worth the most. So there is something that Ray can play for if these gens pop, but the Survivors of Semi-Pro playing this extremely slow, but that is exactly what they need to do, especially with a 3-gen as tight as this, and, you know, being in the 3v1, it's already difficult enough for the side of the Survivors. But Ray is still in a pretty solid position, looking back and forth between main and 10. I think our Survivors realize that, yeah, no, we can't play for that 11 generator. That's way too far up the map, and that would risk the Survivors getting hooked in that 3-gen. But look at that, this back and forth, this little ping pong back and forth. We got Prada trying to put prod and poke at 10. You see Baru and Maria prodding and poking at main. It's kind of back and forth, but Ray's able to hit a shot. Ooh, that was getting a little close. You can feel the wind on the top of the head, that's for sure. But it looks like we are going to commit to, I think this is Maria. Just barely missing it. Yeah, that is Maria. But even just that couple of seconds does buy enough time to at least stop the regression onto this generator at 10. And we do find Prada once again, though. So we're back in this risky position. We get the M1. We have already reloaded our rifle. So if we get this shot, Ray does not want to risk it. But once again, we're going to go into this slowed down mood here. That we see these ground trucks around main. Ray might commit this for a little bit because they know that product going toward the bottom means that they're going to get reset. Oh my gosh, hit that shot onto Maria. Hello, that is not good for the side of the Survivors. They will be able to make it to this window. I believe they are they're not the life player. They are the bounce landing. If Ray is able to follow, no, they don't want to commit to that. I mean, I don't blame them because that would only be the 3-8, but you're right though, Ghosty. The regression limits, they're getting close there. They only have 8 regression limits that they can work with, and missing that shot. But we have to get to something one way or another, because these Survivors are just going to continue run down to the bottom, reset, go back to the top, poke at the gens. Oh, I get hit. Okay, wait, reset, go back to the top, and just continue that over and over until those generators pop. So Ray is definitely in a very peculiar situation here, Ghosty.
Yeah, no, it looks like I think Ray has clocked on that we can't commit to this back and forth of holding that 3-gen. We need to commit to something, and we have managed to catch off both of our injured Survivors, so if we're able to get it down on either of the Survivors, that will be Eruption proccing, and we are managing to get the snipe onto Maria, even with the hit take coming through from Prada, so we could technically at this point possibly slug Maria and just go for a commit onto Prada to remove 2 Survivors from the trial and have another one on the hook. But it looks like we want to cash in that 3rd pain raise hook of the trial, which is what we need out of that thing, just to make sure that these gens on the top are being regressed. But that 10 generator has been hit with a lot of regression. So at this point, we need to find Baru. We need to find them, get it down onto them, and then just sit in front of their face for a minute. We get a snipe like that to start things off. This could be very problematic for the Survivors. This is not the death what we want to be aiming for at the moment. And we can just, at this stage, commit to Baru. And if we just straight up face cam Baru to death, this could be where Celestial could potentially take the trial. We could not keep up to the poke of the gens, poke of the gens, poke of the gens, and just run a bot and then keep defending the generators. So this is where the action needs to happen, and that looks like where Ray is trying to take it. They know that they can't hold on for too much longer. And, you know, a massive snipe onto Baru. This is what we need to see, and this could be where Celestial could take the set at this point. getting a beautiful down onto Baru, and we should be able to drag them up towards that top side again, or we'll just cash in another quick pain res for that 4th fresh of the trial. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are at Tycon, I believe, at this stage, so we have to get Baru off the hook, and we need to now then get this gem popped. So how did that not connect? Hold on a second. I'm sorry. How did that not hit Parada this end? Like, my God. But with that being said, it doesn't matter who we commit to. We could commit to Parada. We could commit to Baru. We just need one more stage, if I'm not mistaken, to take this set. So it's all going to come down to which side makes a mistake first. And it's getting close. It's getting incredibly close here. I think that down onto Baru was what we needed, especially the down onto our survivors like Maria and Prada on the boss side. This is where the tables turn, and Maria has to put off the God's work at the moment, because if they go down here, I believe that will be Celestial taking the tiebreaker set. We're dodging our shots, but we aren't able to send the human pallets in for the hit take onto Maria, so that will be Maria exiting the trial, and I believe Peaches Celestial have now secured the tiebreaker set.
Holy crap. What a back and forth between these two teams. Yeah, with that hook, that is the 9th stage, which is, yeah, that is the win for Celestial. That, what a back and forth, genuinely. I mean, of course, the match is still going. Semipro is going to try and leave this trial with a bang, as this will be the this will be Semipro's final showing for this. You see Ray having a good time, just doing some flick shots toward Prada. But seriously, even though we won't see Semipro moving on to the next part of the bracket, they did such a phenomenal job this matchup. I mean, they, from the first set, Freddy, which didn't go the way that they want to, bringing it back with the unknown at that 4K for WinCon, absolutely phenomenal. And of course, seeing some insane shots on the side of Brew for the Deathslinger. Very nice shot from Ray as well onto Prada there. Very well played, very nice shot, but they absolutely did a phenomenal job. But yeah, that will be the end of them. And Celestial will be securing, I think they were already secured for the 4th place spot, if I'm not mistaken, but if they wasn't secured, then it is now. So they will be moving on to the next part of the bracket, where they go into the lower bracket and they will face off against the 3rd place of the Charlie bracket, which I believe that is going to be Tenzai, but that will be way further down the line. We'll worry about that later, as we still have a couple more games to have tonight. So we'll take their final chase against Ray, taking this chase over the top side of the map, top mid, trying to beeline it toward main, as that is a very strong resource to use against the Deathslinger. They're a beeline, trying to make it to that window, not quite going for the window, going for the pallet instead. Ray trying to walk him down. Ooh, trying to do some fancy shots. You're trying to go for the 360, the swing. Pallet's done, very well played, and they will make it to oh, not going for the window quite yet, going for the door instead, trying to shoot through the window, not quite, going for the swing and not quite able to connect. Now we are getting that bloodlust cooking Brew, able to make it all over the pallet vault as well, but Ray forced to break that pallet because main is already as strong as to get that resource out of the way. And let's see, where did Brew go? I think they are on one side of main, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are, and now they are beelining it the bottom towards Shaq. They want to get out, and yet, oh, Ray looks so sad with their head bowed down. They're just like, oh, I missed this shot. Oh no. But that it is okay, as they've already taken this. I guess, I'm sorry, that absolutely cracks me up seeing that. And here we're, oh, that almost hit that shot. You see the nodders from Bruce saying that was a good shot, but I have taken the